Hi everyone, this is Canny Couple. I'm Julia, Aaron's behind the camera today. Today I want to show you our favorite fall side dish. But before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. So, it's fall, it's a time of the year, and it's almost Thanksgiving. So, if you don't have a garden and you shop at the grocery stores, a lot of these foods are going to become seasonal and are going to be cheap to buy at the grocery store for most people. But this is our absolute favorite. And this is completely customizable. So what this is for us is potatoes, carrots. These are the trumbuccinos. These are a butternut squash. And these are sweet potatoes and garlic. And that's all we use. You can do onion. We've done every type of squash that we've ever had. Acorn squash will go good in this. We've done the acorn. Can you think of anything else we've done?
I think we did Blue Hubbard maybe once.
Blue Hubbard in this once. It's amazing. But what you're going to do is this year to roast these vegetables. And I would say the hardest part of this is the part I've already done. That's the prep work. It takes the longest because especially if they're your homegrown vegetables, because you typically have to get them good and clean from being in the dirt. They've not been cleaned at the grocery store. So you spend a lot of time cleaning and slicing, but it's so worth it. So you're going to slice up your vegetables. You can tell I've done a huge bowl here. And that's because this is one of Aaron's favorite.
Yeah, and as you know, we eat usually the same thing all week
We'll
long.
eat this all week. So Aaron will get a huge helping of this every day, and he's excited. This is his favorite side item of all the side items.
The only thing I would probably like added myself
rutabaga.
Is rutabaga.
He loves it with rutabaga, but we didn't grow any this year.
Yeah.
We will be next year. So seasoning wise, whatever seasoning you like. I look for a seasoning that smells very flavorful, if that makes sense. How else would you subscribe?
Yeah, so for most people, they might know the Montreal steak seasoning.
Yeah.
We use that on this a lot.
This one is garlic, salt, onions, spices, including black pepper, parsley, cayenne, orange peel, paprika, and green bell peppers. It smells very good for like vegetables, even though it's a chicken seasoning. That's what we're going with here. And I'm going to go light and kind of be able to tell. But I also have garlic cloves in here. And I will say all this came from our garden. So did these.
Yeah.
So did these. This is a beet. I let it go too long. I really did. I let it go too long. We're going to see what it looks like. It's clean. It's just a little bit deformed. But we're going to see what it looks like. I'm going to be pickling some beets later. Because I'm doing a lot of vegetables, I'm going to really load it down with some seasoning. I'm also going to put in some Redmond's real salt because it's potatoes, vegetables, it needs a lot of seasoning. I will say, when you do this, the sweet potatoes are a necessity.
Yes, it doesn't
There's
taste
also
the
carrots.
Same. Yeah, it doesn't taste the same without sweet potatoes.
We did it without sweet potatoes, and it's like, something's missing. Something's missing. And he's like, oh, it's the sweet potatoes. And I'm going to do a little bit of pepper. If all you have is salt, pepper, you don't need anything else. You really don't. We just like a lot more flavor, a lot more oomph. And then I'm going to use olive oil. And I go light on the olive oil. I'm going to do quite a bit for the start. And then we're going to see how far that takes us. But we just want to barely coat it. Now, my mom used to do this for us. And she used to put them in a trash bag. Because she would do such a big batch. And that works as well. It really does. But I have found my big bowl does just fine. And all we're going to do is we're going to make sure we get everything nice and coated. And one of the things I will tell you, one of the tips for when you're cutting your vegetables, you kind of want all of these to get done at the same time. So you need to know your vegetables. What vegetable takes the longest amount to cook? For us, it's going to be the potatoes, the butternut squash. They're going to be about the same amount of time to cook. Maybe the carrots. These carrots, I don't think so. So I'm going to cut those a little smaller, a little finer. The sweet potatoes don't take as long. So I'm going to cut those at a good size. And I'm also worried about the trumbuccinos because they can get a little mushy. So they're a bit bigger. So all we're going to do is we're going to mix till everything's coated. think I'm going to need a little bit more oil. What you don't want is you do not want it sitting in a whole bunch of oil. You want to make sure that it's just lightly coated enough to help it cook, coated enough to help it from turning brown, but not like you're frying it in oil. And you can always, you know, when you're doing it, you can put it in your bowl and then just slowly do it. But you want to go slow with your oil. You don't want to do too much. I've always been very careful with that. And oil's expensive. It's gotten so expensive. So you want to keep it frugal. You can tell it smells so good. It smells so amazing. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to get this mixed. I'm going to put it in some pans. This will take 2 pans for us. And then I'm going to bake it 350 till the vegetables are fork tender. You want to be careful. You don't want it to be too done, but you also want them to get nice and roasty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these baked, and we'll come back and I'll let Aaron do a taste test for y'all. So we are back. It has cooked, and you can see how pretty that is.
And that's not all of it.
It's not all of it. No, there's another pan.
That's one pan of it.
And here's my taste tester.
Yeah, I've been outside working, so let's see here.
I'm getting ready for our first real freeze. It's hot.
That's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, I like that seasoning a lot on it.
Really?
Maybe even more than Montreal steak.
Well, I thought you were worried when I first pulled that one out. You were like, I don't know about this one. How did the Trappuccino do? It was the...
Which one's that one?
That one right there. Try that, because it's a little thicker.
That's good, isn't it?
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Our sweet potatoes. These are the sweet potatoes that we found that Deep South does.
These, right. I've got a little different flavor than
what we're used to. The skin on these is good. It is not bad. I'm not a sweet potato skin person, but the skin on these is so thin. It's really nice. What do you think?
I'd say for sweet potatoes, it's probably somewhere in between what we would think of a potato and a regular sweet potato.
Okay.
Somewhere like in the middle of that. You know, not as sweet as we used to with the other varieties.
It's still good.
Still good. But, you know.
They grew better than any others for us.
That's true.
They did. We have had a hard time growing sweet potatoes that are not misshapen.
Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be great to have all week, you know. I mean, as a side, you can't beat anything like this. But hopefully you enjoyed this, you know, and something good that you can think about using with all your fall vegetables, or, you know, easy things to pick up that will come on sale at the grocery store. Sorry. And you know, go and check out our link tree, which has all of our other content. And if there's anything you want to see in a future episode, send it over to thecannycouple@yahoo.com. And
as always, thank you for joining us on The Canny Couple, where we work hard, live simple, and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day.